All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NADCL second series for the day. I see you two boys have already started talking. Sammy Boy Gunner, how the hell do you feel this morning?
We feel pretty good. Feel pretty good, I think. What about you, Gunner?
Pretty good. The win was nice. Felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just came off a convincing 2-0 straight into casting. I guess that does suit quite well. How did that feel, by the way? Like, did you feel like you won pretty convincingly? Or was it a bit difficult for you guys? What happened during that series?
I think we had a lot of mistakes game one. Like we took some really bad team fights, and that we knew were bad, and then a couple bad pickoffs. But besides that, the game was pretty clean. Just those team fights kind of set us back. And then game two, we thought it was pretty clean, I think.
Certainly looked that way, I'll tell you. You guys look pretty good, though we do have two new teams up. We'll see what happens this series. Of course, Team, this is their debut match in the NADCL. Will have been here since day one, but this should be an interesting one. Now, do you guys know much about either of these teams?
I think we both kind of know a lot about all these players. Kind of know what they like to pick, know what they like to do.
So, could you pick out a favorite, like just looking into, like not even with the draft, just looking at both the teams, do you think there's an outright favorite in this series, or?
Probably team.
Yeah.
I think they've been together longer, I want to say. Gotten
Uh,
like if not like the same amount of time, but I think like in general they've gotten like farther into brackets.
I think I think I think Team is definitely like a safe choice, but I think Wheel has been playing really well recently, like playing in King's Cup.
Wings or Wheel has been getting a lot of wins in the Kings recently.
Yeah, I think they're playing well, so I think it'll be a close game. I'm
Well, that's
feeling
good.
like probably like a 1-1 in my opinion.
Well, that's good to hear. That's what we want. We definitely want a close series rather than a just complete stomp. Though it does look like the draft has already started. Team, they do pick up a Crystal Maiden for themselves. I suppose this support isn't too surprising. It's just standard in this meta right now.
I haven't seen too much Crystal Maiden. It's I saw one person using it in an opening a couple days ago, but I mean we were seeing a lot of these like really tanky supports like this Ogre Magi they just picked. Or these kind of supports that have like kind of deep push on lanes like Winter Wyvern, Silencer, that type of stuff. So it's interesting to see the CM like right off the bat.
I think it opens up to like cores that can just kill supports really easily. You have a CM, because you're usually gonna put your CM in the safe lane. Too squishy to go in an offlane aggressive lane.
Yeah, you have to pick a strong safe laner with it though. If you pick kind of a weak safe laner with CM, your lane
Yeah, the
is
lane's
very
gonna get
likely to get
overrun. So
ran over.
get like showing their like lane matchups too much. First pick, I'd say. I think like an ogre lets you put it in different roles. Gives you a strong like frontliner for the lane.
Well,
Morphling pick.
yeah, Morphling does come out. Would you? This feels a bit earlier on. Like they've got the Mirana there, I guess. Like there's a decent morph target in her because you can just leap away with that Mirana on top of that waveform. But you feel like it was a bit early for that Morphling to come out.
Morphling's like a counter pick to Ogre because when you morph into Ogre, you get to steal like his ultimate, so like your Fire Blast can still multicast, and you also steal like his Aghanim's upgrade too, later in the game. So Morphling is like kind of a counter to Ogre, and I'm assuming that's kind of why they picked it, as well as that it's pretty good versus Mirana as well. I don't know what you think, Gunner.
I still think it's too early, personally. I think there's a lot of really good heroes in the pool that are good against Morph. Storms in the pool. There's too many heroes I think that are like happy playing against a Morph. Second pick.
I think I think opening wise though, it's not too bad because you get two bans at least when you're on first pick. I definitely don't think it's like really good, but if they really believe in that idea, I can see why they picked it against this ogre. They might have been
Yeah.
planning it out ahead of time as well.
Well, we'll see what these bans show up for us. I guess we saw the Nyx Assassin going down, Earthshaker as well for the side of Will.
Uh,
I wasn't under the impression actually. You guys pointed out that the Morphling does steal the multicast, when he does
Yeah.
morph in. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It's
a
like
weird
the only hero that
interaction.
you can still act from. It's because I think his multicast is binded to like the individual spells instead of like the
Yeah,
ult itself.
yeah.
So it changes like the spells.
Well, he can still ags like from Zeus. You mean
Yeah,
like
he
his
can steal
ultimate?
Zeus Nimbus, and he can steal Ogre's Ags upgrade. Really
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
The one thing I'm surprised is that no one picked Earthshaker. I got through to second phase bans.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
think like
weird.
I would have rather picked Earthshaker in this than CM.
Yeah,
Just
I would.
Radiant.
I mean, it's hard to pick with Ogre, I think, because they both like you don't really want to have two melee supports like that, so you can't really
Yeah,
open like Ogre Earthshaker. But I'm definitely surprised team just didn't take Earthshaker instead of the Morphling, or even just like on first pick if they wanted it. It's rare that it gets like through the pool like that.
Well, we do see the final banouts coming out, team. They get rid of the Drow. Of course, they get rid of the Ember Spirit themselves. We'll see what they do pick up. Of course, the Drow, I would argue, pretty smart ban from team. The Mirana was already there, and obviously you guys just ran a Drow strat, so you'd know quite a lot about that. Arguably one of the best like real cores to have on your team right now. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
Drow's very good versus Morphling too, which is probably why they banned it. It has, inherently has a silence, does a lot of physical damage, isn't really too worried
pressure
about the Morphling like
game,
jumping on top of him generally.
pressure towers with your team, and more
Yeah.
take 5v5s that early.
They'll pick up the Lena. Now, is this? It seems like a bit early to pick up that mid Lena. I imagine it can just be run as a position 4 as well. Are you guys predicting mid position 4?
I think it'll be position 4, mostly because I think they banned Ember because they're setting up for like a weak mid laner that might end up being the Mirana, but it could be something else. You don't really, tend to ban stuff like Ember Spirit if you're planning to pick Lina mid anyway, because the Ember's lane is going to be really difficult, and you don't really have to worry about it. I tend to think that if you're going to ban something like Ember Spirit, it means that you want to have like kind of a weak mid laner. Um, and so you're kind of preventing this Ember from having like a free game against like your Mirana or something like that.
Fair enough. Team, their third pickup. They will actually go for the Axe pick. Maybe you guys could explain why this is a pretty good pick for Team. I guess it's decent catch for the Mirana, but that's all I'm really seeing.
What do you think, Gunner?
For the axe, I think
Yeah.
they want to put the axe with the Crystal Maiden bot, and then they want to be able to like pressure the wave by cutting and then diving with all their mana, because they're gonna have a lot of mana, and I think that lane is fairly strong. But I'm worried because they don't see the other team's carry, and it's
Yeah.
probably gonna be an ogre there. So the way I see it is they put the ogre in the axis lane, and he can just tank creeps for his carry, and then prevent him from getting dove. I'm not like too sure about this pick.
I feel like this Morphling's gonna have a really rough game right now. Like the Lina +1, like whatever it is gonna be like a really strong duo against whatever, hero is laning with the Morphling. Like I think and along with that, this axe, like CM isn't really going to be able to pressure because you have kind of the response pick to it. So it's kind of difficult to like, you know, think that this axe and CM are going to be able to pressure whatever they pick unless they kind of pick a hero that is like easily pressured.
Well, we'll go for a Bat Rider.
That's...
I
Okay,
like that hero actually.
so I think that means it's Mirana mid, right?
I
I
think
guess it could
most
still be
likely.
Lina.
I
But
think most likely they're gonna run. I think they might put ogre with the bat now. Instead. They could even put the ogre bat versus the axe lane, and then pick a different hero versus morph.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think Bat Rider is like that good versus Morphling. It's obviously like a good lane, but like comparatively to other offlaners, I don't know if it's that good. Like I'd rather have Bat Rider versus something like Terrorblade. Having it versus this Morphling, I don't think feels as good because the Morphling has like waveform, he has ways to stun you, ways to do a lot of burst damage if you try to run
For
on top
6,
of
you
him.
can remove all the stacks.
Yeah, that too. I don't know if I like that pick versus the Morphling. But we'll have to see how it works out.
But you guys don't think that they'll just run the Bat Rider against the Axe instead and just have the lasso for later on? Like, you guys are assuming that the Morphling is going to be up against the Bat Rider in that laning stage?
I mean,
Um,
if they put it, they could just last pick like a hero and put it against the morphling.
Right.
But I'd be like worried how the bat would play the lane if getting all his creeps cut and then just getting dove. Hard to like get your napalm stacks when they're just diving under your tower.
Have you played that matchup? I've played it a couple times. It's like the thing with it is that if you have like a support there, the Batrider will just like actually stay on the axe while the axe is creep cutting and get napalms, and you force the TP. So like the axe will get one wave, but you actually like force him to just TP back to his tower generally. So it's like pretty. I wouldn't say Batrider favored, but it's definitely like a winnable lane by Batrider in my opinion. I just don't know if they'll do it because it's like you're kind of gambling on those lane matchups in my opinion. When you do swaps and stuff like that, like if you have one lane that gets like really dumpstered and one lane that like really wins, hard, you're kind of just taking, kind of just guessing. And if you guess wrong, it can be a disaster in some games.
Look, go
I
for
really
the
That's their
like that
lane
pick,
matchup
though.
for the Batrider.
I mean, it seems like a good pick, right? Direct counter towards that bat, although it is a hero you don't see very often anymore. I suppose it combos decently with the Morphling and the Axe as well. You guys have confidence in this at all? Like, this is a good pickup?
I really like it. There's a lot of magic damage on Radiant or on Dire.
Yeah, I think this Oracle pick's gonna be really good. It's definitely a little weird with Morphling because of like the interactions with how Oracle ulti works and like morph stat gain, how you don't actually like gain get healing from it, you just like gain the stats or whatever they give you HP, so it's a little weird. As long as they keep that in mind, it's definitely like a really good lane counter to the Spat Rider and Ogre.
Well, let's see how it turns out. You know, Sammy, I've got to ask you because someone was saying in chat that they were requesting you stream more because they need more salt in their lives. And I'm talking to you right now for the first time, Sammy. You seem like a very nice guy. Are these rumors
Uh,
true? Are you salty?
I'm salty towards certain people, yeah. I'd say that, yeah.
Not as
I get pretty salty.
you know, the people that he doesn't like, there's the people that don't like him,
Oh, fair enough. There
I
you
mean,
have it.
He's got a
I'm
little
I'm
beef with some people.
I'm pretty salty to some of the people on team. I told
Really?
Yeah, but I gotta play them on land, so it'll be fine.
Yeah,
We'll 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 figure it out.
absolutely. You just figure it out like men. Go in there, play a game, see how it goes.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, that's the Dota way. It's the NA Dota way. You have an argument, you play a 1v1, you play a game, whoever wins, like it doesn't matter the argument. Whoever wins the game wins the argument. That's how it works.
absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Sammy. You know what? I'm going to respect the honesty here from you for just admitting that you are salty. Although I will say you do sound very nice. I still kind of don't believe it. I hope I never get on your bad end though, because I don't want to be on the receiving end of that salt. I'm more of a sweet tooth kind of guy myself, but I don't know. Hopefully not. Nevertheless,
It's only online salt. When we're in person, everything's cool.
yeah.
Invoker pickup.
Mm.
What do you think about this, Gunner? Is your hero?
I think greedy with the morph first off. Like I wouldn't want to pick it with a morph.
Dude,
They have some setup for if he goes exhort. I think with the axe, the Crystal Maiden, if the Oracle gets like a long. If he goes exhort, it's gonna be kind of greedy to play it with the Morphling. Might make him want to go more towards Boss Wax build.
dude, when Morphling hits level 20, they can have 2 invokers. Think about it.
I
How's
think
that?
Dire might put the Lina mid now, and they could just pick another hero here.
I don't know if I want to put this Mirana in a side lane. I think it'd be bad.
Hold on.
I guess they are. Yeah, you're right.
You guys just pointed out something interesting though. That level 20 talent with the Morphling. If he morphs into the Invoker, and then Evident gets like an amazing call off into like a double Cataclysm, that'd be pretty insane to watch.
I don't think you get Cataclysm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
a
think you
shame.
get Cataclysm.
It's a talent, but
Oh,
it works by every time you morph. Every time you switch form into Invoker, you'll get his current 2 abilities. So, like in the fight, as the Invoker keeps casting his own spells, you morph between yourself and Invoker. You'll
Oh my
keep
God.
swapping abilities. Because you can't yourself invoke as a Morphling.
that has to be the most sickening thing I've ever heard. But it
So
sounds
it's very hard, but you have to be very like coordinated to be like, I have Tornado EMP ready, swap into me, or like I have Alacrity, go Invoker. You have to call it out so the Morph also knows what spells he's getting.
Yeah.
But, so it is a mid Lina. Maybe the carry pot him.
Yeah. Zizzy on offlane, that's like I haven't seen that in a long time. He's like mostly a carry player. It's kind of weird. They have like 2 carry players on their roster, I think.
Well, let's see how this goes, guys. I'd like to ask, just before we get into the game, overall, looking at both drafts, who do you think just outdrafted each other, if any?
Radiant draft is better.
Yeah, I think Radiant draft's better. I really didn't like their opening. I thought their opening was really punishable, but I think this Axe pick is like just makes their draft kind of weird. So I don't really know. I still think Radiant's like got a better draft, but that opening and that
Kill them. Their magic or damage is magic. They do have a lot of stuns and like lockdown, but once he gets like a Linken's, it's really hard to initiate on him.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see where the lane matchups come into play because the Batrider is walking top right now, and the Mirana, Ogre, SK are all walking bottom. So I think they're trying to get this Batrider versus Axe matchup,
So
but
yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it. I think whichever team gets the matchup that they want is gonna have a really big advantage.
Well, we'll see how the lanes go. I mean, in the end, I guess you can always just swap out if you really want. In fact, is that a big thing in NA? Because I've been casting a lot of Chinese Dota recently, and they swap out lanes like no matter what time it is. Like if it's 2 minutes in, they're still running across the map, swapping lanes if it doesn't favor
Yeah.
them.
Lanes are that important, and the thing about it is that like if you get the lanes wrong, you have to walk like across the map because if you TP, then the enemy just TPs, and you're like in the same situation. And getting these lane matchups can be extremely important. So what you see happening a lot is that the cores will literally just walk across the map while the support takes the lane, and the support's kind of 1v1 while the cores are like walking across the map until one of them gives up or one of them just says, okay, well this is fine. My support is maybe stronger than their support, so now I can lane here, something like that.
Makes sense, I suppose. The first time I saw it, I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? But I guess it does make sense. It's just this meta right now. Actually, look at this mid lane. Frog.
they're sending the Axe bottom. Gonna actually avoid the ports, which
The
is actually gonna
CM
be.
is going top though. Oh, Save might get the courier snipe.
They're going on Husky right now.
They're gonna go on the Roker.
Yeah, they'll get the stun off with the Burrow Strike. Now the Fire Blast into the Light
There should
Strike
be a
array.
kill.
Save will be there, though it won't help out. And they might go on save as well. Though they don't really have anything to follow up. In fact, no, Light Strike array is there. Sunstrike will not end up connecting, and it looks like he's gone. Save stuck around a bit too long.
What patch is this? This is tri-lane mid versus tri-lane mid. Like a year ago.
That favors Dire very heavily. They
Yeah.
Dire didn't port either support, and Radiant had both their supports TP to try to save the Invoker.
They
Well,
got the
that means
courier
that
snipe though.
And they did get the quarter snipe, but I think it's gonna make the Dire supports able to like rotate around the map freely.
I think Dire just wins this trade because their core matchups are a lot better. This Batrider is obviously going to completely zone out the Morphling in a 1v1, and the Mirana does like pretty fine versus the Sax. It's kind of even, so you don't really have to be worried about like one of your cores getting zoned at that point.
Well, a great start at the very least for the side of Will, getting 2 very early pickoffs. Mind you, of course, the lane has just started, so that it's anyone's game at the moment. We're still a minute and 40 seconds in. It does look like, however, that they haven't switched out that Batrider from the top lane. So it looks like the side of Will, they're happy with just running this Batrider against the Morphling in that safe lane. Although you guys pointed out in the drafting phase, that Batrider doesn't really do as well against the Morph.
It's kind of just how the lanes turned out, I think, because the Batrider is fine versus the Morphling in like a 1v1 situation, and because there was that tri-lane mid.
They're gonna port
kind
out,
of
actually.
shenanigans. Oh, they are. Yeah, they're
They
trying
are
to swap
swapping.
now. There it
Both
goes.
cores ported. Radiant does have the option to switch, but I think if Radiant switches, it'll benefit Dire. Here to pull the creeps in the Bat's position in the bottom lane.
Well, we'll see what the decision is from team.
The thing about this too, actually, when Dire swaps, is that Dire doesn't really have to swap their supports. If Radiant wants to swap, they have to swap not only the Oracle, but also the core. So as you see now, Oracle's TPing bottom to swap to the Bats lane. But now you have the
They might
Morphling
leave
kind of play with the
Morphling
SK.
top.
They're playing with the CM, sorry.
I guess as long as you have the Oracle with you, Like, the axe probably should be okay, right? Like, the Fortune's End just takes off the sticky napalm, and then you really don't have too much of an issue anymore.
Yeah, in general, I think this matchup is like super Oracle favored. It's like probably the hardest counter pick, at least for lanes in the game against Batrider. We'll just have to see how it plays out though, because you know if they make a mistake, maybe you know that's too many stacks and Oracle has already wasted his Q, he can definitely die.
We'll look to another lane for the moment. Husky versus Brink, that Lina Invoker. I mean, who did like the? It feels like it should favor the Lina early on. Although we do have a pause. But overall, like, right now, Husky actually finds himself where he was in front of the last hits. Now they're pretty even, 15 to 16. Who does this favor, though? The Lina or the Invoker?
I think it should favor the Lina more heavily, but I think as Invoker gets levels, starts to get points in Quas, he gets more in Exhort, room to sustain.
I think level 5 is like when the
Level
matchup
5,
turns.
yeah.
But even then, the Lina has like kill potential. Like if you hit a nice stun into your ulti at like level 6, it's pretty easy to get a kill on the Invoker. But the same thing can be said if you like mess up your stun and you get cold snapped with like level 5, level 6 Invoker with maybe Alacrity or Forge Spirit, it can easily turn around on you too because you have almost no armor on Lina. So it's kind of like a very, I'd say it's a pretty skill-based matchup, at least in the later levels. But it's definitely Lina favored in the first couple levels.
Fair calls. Of course, we did also talk about the... You guys were talking about the Exalt build. You mentioned in the draft it may be a bit greedy of the Invoker to go for that like the Exalt build, but I mean overall, like it seems to be working out all right for the moment.
I like the Exort build this game because you have the axe. So if this axe
yeah, you
gets
do
a
have
fast
a lot
blink,
of setup for the Sunstrike.
yeah.
Like the standard Exhort Invoker allows you to be more active. People usually skip the Midas.
And that's what he's doing. He has
Yeah.
power treads already queued up.
They usually go like some like, sort of like treads Aquila into Ags. Doesn't mean you have to be as the old Invoker where you just hit jungle creeps for like 10 minutes with a Midas.
You like the double
Will
no
be more
on
active.
Husky?
I prefer going Aquila. I like the mana regen, but I think it's fine this game because he's a crystal main to give him mana.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm still not sure. I know they nerfed like the thing of Aquila and made it give like 3 less damage. So I think it gives like the same amount of damage as a null for Invoker. Like, well, I guess it gives stats too. It gives like 3 int 2. So I guess it gives like about the same damage actually as a null nowadays. So maybe it's better. Unusual. I haven't seen it a lot.
While we're waiting for the unpause, random question: how do you guys feel about Grimstroke?
The hero's busted.
Really good. People stop picking him as much.
So you think the recent nerf just screwed him over?
I think it made him better. Oh,
Really?
do you mean like the most recent one, or do you mean like the one where they changed his like E?
Oh no! I
The one,
agree.
like,
I
last
agree with
night.
the previous one. I do believe it made him better that time, but the most recent one in 7.19D, personally speaking, I don't think he's been nerfed enough. He still seems ridiculous.
Yeah, they're like changing a lot of stuff about him. So like his Phantom's Embrace like latch used to like scale like really weirdly. Like when he first came out, like you actually didn't want to level your Phantom Embrace because it would like scale poorly. Like the 4th level was actually worse than the 3rd level because of the duration. And it was kind of like that too, even like 4 to 5 seconds, because you generally don't need a 5-second silence, and you just wanted the damage, so it would like come back to you earlier, so people would only go like 2 levels of Phantom Embrace. And now that they've set it to like a base like 5 seconds, it's definitely got a little nerfed, I think, especially at the early levels, as well as like nerfing the damage on it, and of course like nerfing Ink Swell to be way less effective, giving move speed and stuff is always just like a big deal on like. That said, he still just has like an insane amount of utility. His ultimate, giving vision, is just insane in team fights. He has wave clear, he has a stun, he has kind of a move speed amp, he has a silence. He's just kind of a jack of all trades hero that just does a lot with his full set.
I look forward to seeing it in Captain's mode when it finally comes out, just to see how people run it. Like, it just seems so ridiculous. Even that ultimate, like the fact that you can get 2 abilities off on 2 people, but only using it once, it seems just kind of ridiculous overall. But
yeah. Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Gunner.
no. Go ahead, please. I was waiting for you guys to butt in.
I thought it was Gunner.
No, I
I
didn't
was
say
gonna
anything.
say I think the most OP part about his ultimate isn't really the spellcasting even. It gives like vision. I don't know if it like transfers their vision fully. I believe it does. I
I think
believe it
it gives
transfers
them
their vision.
their vision, yeah.
Yeah, so like on not only does that like own stuff like Night Stalker, but by giving like you know by getting their vision, you're pretty much being able to see their entire team. So at the start of a team fight, you cast your ultimate for like 10 seconds, you have their entire like vision area, which can be just huge in a ton of games. And how it like automatically links. So like if you cast it on someone and someone blinks in, it links them and gives them their vision too. I think the ultimate's like really broken because of the vision and not necessarily the spell casting.
Also the slow and like the bind is very
Yeah, the slow.
like if you cast on a mobile hero, he gets binded to like a non-mobile hero. It's really hard. Like they have to move together in one slow.
Now that you guys point all that stuff out, it does seem a lot better than I even thought. Like, I guess some deep analysis makes me think it's even better than I expected. But there you go. Luckily, we're back into the game, though. So we can actually talk about this game in particular. Everton bot lane on this Axe. Top of the last hits board, not really struggling whatsoever. Although now with the sticky napalms, he does appear to be struggling slightly. And in fact, I say that he's getting dived right now. The Ignite comes out. Firefly is there, and that's the caster's
I think he's dead.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah,
That's save
Meanwhile,
was
killing the top lane.
rolling.
Yeah, derp. Gets Colio. Be perfectly fine, but man, that happens every time. I point out a hero having a good old time, and then he ends up dying like 30 seconds later.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about on this Axe Bat matchup. If you just let yourself get too many sticky napalms and your Oracle's like not right next to you in position to clear them, it can definitely be a difficult matchup to play, and there's definitely like ways for them to be aggressive on top of you.
Evident. We'll get the call off. Firefly is there, but they've got the hold as well, and Save will just finish it off with the Purifying Flames, though Frugos may go for a return kill now. But it looks like Evident actually wants to turn around. And Frugos, he will just back off. Meanwhile, Save, he will go get both those bounty runes. In fact, he won't make it in time for the second, but he'll get at least one.
That's good. I don't know if did any team get more than, I think
Dire got 3.
Dire got 3? Okay. That's definitely really good for Dire. It's like, 400 gold swing.
I mean, you mark that more than like an actual hero kill at this point, right? Like those bounty runes, they're just so worthwhile.
I think it depends what hero kill. If it's like a core, generally not, but it's definitely worth more than a support.
You have to consider it as also taking the gold away from the other team.
That's true.
You're going like a 3-for-1 trade.
Yeah. Well, the way I think about it is if you kill a core, though, like they're not farming. It's like the same idea.
That's why.
It just depends what core.
Mid lane. Looks like the Lina and Invoker, they're still very even on these last hits. Like, they are not really, they've been trying to compete against each other. Like, we saw that Invoker being killed off early on, but Husky really kept up. And at this point, like, it looks like they're just going to be trading farm in this mid lane. And as I say that Save, he will end up finding Frugos at that bot lane. So the Ogre will end up falling. Now, Z, he will return into the lane, but we'll see what he can get done.
Gunnar, do you know if this is standard, this like rushing blink on bat? I haven't seen this in a long time. I don't know if
It's
this
more
is
general.
good.
You go get drums or something for.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe he thinks they just really need the initiation on, on wheel.
That is a very nice call coming out from Everton, but he's going to end up falling
The
regardless.
Oracle may go down, depending on this.
Oh. I think I'll be fine.
He will fortunes end off those the sticky napalm, and well, they may loop around, but it looks like the two supports, they're actually just going to go and maybe go for rotation mid lane. Like again, Husky has pretty much been trading farm equally with this Lina. So I don't know if this is too safe to give Invoker this much space.
We'll see. This kill would be really big if they can get this kill on mid. They're wrapping around with the Sand
I think
King
the
and
Husky's
Ogre.
playing very far up. He wasted his gold snap, but they have vision. Good scan from Radiant.
So Husky...
He still might die though. They might dive him. This Ogre is positioning to dive with a ward.
The Mirana top.
Bat Rider's coming in on top lane too.
KVH. Well, they're going to get started with ZYZZY, and it
Missed
looks like
the
Colio...
On the same time, they're gonna go on mid. They just scanned out mid.
Yeah. Husky
There's,
still
since there's
okay.
stuff going on top, they can't react to the Valkyrie.
Yeah, they get the lasso off onto the Morphling, but he just pretty much survives. No damage cop. Now, Derp will find Husky on that Invoker. They'll get the Fire Blast off as well as the Light Strike Array. Can they burst him down though? Goes for him. No dust. I guess there was
I
enough.
really don't like that play by Brink. I don't know if you saw what he did, Gunner, but he glyphed his mid wave when the Invoker meteored, which is like pretty standard. But then because he went to attack the Invoker, like none of the creeps hit the tower. He got like no tower damage. And I think at that point you just like you have like a double wave and you just hit the tower and you do like, you know, half the tower's HP instead of trying to go on that Invoker with like no mana. I think that was like a really big mistake, especially towards like getting this mid tower.
Bot lane. Evident. We'll be alright.
All alone.
Frugos. Maybe in trouble, but he'll be fine as well. Colio will not really spot him out.
Up, I think Zizzy might go down.
They are getting started, and it looks like the Batrider will go down very quickly. Meanwhile, bot lane, though, Sunstrike coming in with that call. Though Derp, he will end up falling to the Battle Hunger. Frugos couldn't really help out. All he had was the Fire Blast.
Evident's going to weird build too. He went phase boots, ring of health, and now he's going blink. Pretty pretty unusual, let's say, to not finish the Vanguard and maybe get phase boots before the Vanguard even. Gonna play really aggressive.
They're gonna try and dive him though.
Gonna
Call
go
is
bottom.
very
Great
nice
call,
from
buddy.
onto KVH. My goodness, and now Frugos gonna be chased down as well. Evident doesn't really want to stop here. He has call up in 5 seconds or so, but the Sunstrike, it will connect. Husky finds him.
Might play
Nice.
with his life though. Blink's coming in.
Yeah, Evident. He calls up
Good
that
go down
bonus
here.
armor, but it won't be enough. The T1 will get him. Still though, Team really showing up so far. They've started to become really aggressive with this axe. The top lane, Derp. Gonna find save. They're just fighting over bounty runes right now. Although Scourge McDuck, he gets lassoed up, immediately starts strength morphing, and will waveform down. Though ZZY
Or
might be in trouble.
might go down
Chaos
if
Meteor
he doesn't
wasn't
get spells
great.
casted.
And it looks like the Batrider will end
Oh.
up falling, but they'll get the Morphling in return. I feel like that's well worth it.
Anyway, it
Hey,
was
don't lose
definitely
any
worth
other
it.
heroes, that's very worth.
They also were able to kill the CM on the other side of the map.
Call. Evident. Doesn't throw it out yet. He has a dunk available, and he doesn't even need it. Derp will end up falling to the Purifying Flames, and now Frugos. Oh, what a very nice Fortune Zen. The call is there as well, onto the Lena, and Brink, dunk will not be enough. But the Purifying Flames
down.
will connect.
He almost got super lucky. There were like 3 misses on him from low ground. That was like a really bad positioning though from Brink. He like walked into the call trying to get a stun on somebody.
Yeah, he walked into the Fortune, then into the call.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Well, 9-9 now. I guess at this point I should ask, like, overall, throughout the, if we go to the late game, who does the draft favor more? In fact, hold that thought, because Colio, bot lane, will end up falling, so KVH picks up that one, but overall, in terms of draft, who goes better in the late game?
Radiant.
Yeah, really.
Very heavy
Really
Radiant
badly.
favorite. I'd be worried if this game went over 40 minutes for Dire.
I think if this game gets to like 30-35 minutes, Wheel is going to have some severe problems being able to kill anybody. Especially with the Oracle and the Morphling just being, you know, insanely good defensive heroes. That said, they are going on top lane.
Yeah, they tried to, but the Fate's Edict was there with the Purifying Flames to heal, and now they may even go on Frugos right now. Fortune's End was there, the Cold Snap coming out, Alacrity on Scourge McDuck, and he finds the pick off. Mind you, though, KVH, he does find Evident bot lane, though KVH,
Oh,
Ooh.
very close.
slightly
That
off.
was a really good play by Dirk there. He like wrapped around with his ulti on the Axe, who was just kind of sitting in trees bottom lane.
Top lane again.
Team round.
Batrider gonna be in trouble, though he's
That
in that
should
tree
go down.
line, but it's enough. The Purifying Flames. I mean, Save is doing a lot of work on this Oracle already.
Zizzy just made like a really feels bad play. He was like, you know, I guess like 400 or 500 off Blink, and before he died there, he just bought out his Tranquil Boots. I guess he gave up on the Blink, or at least like trying to rush it. But he was like really close to Blink, and then he was like, well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well just buy the Tranquils. Like this Blink isn't gonna do anything, I think. So it's kind of unfortunate there, but I don't know, that kind of blink rush, when it doesn't pay off, it definitely feels bad, and I think he's definitely feeling it, that he shouldn't have probably tried to rush blink in this game.
Well, there is a smoke rotation. Team going into that mid lane, though they will back off on the side of Wheel. So Frugos and Brink will be perfectly fine. Meanwhile, top lane, looks like Scourge McDuck is being chased up right now. The lasso comes out as well, and this should be a kill, though he does have Strength Morph available. And he will be able to use it. Now Tornado comes in as well. With the Chaos Meteor and Zizzy, he may be in massive, massive trouble. And it looks like he should end up falling, though. Nice Burrow Strike comes in, but the false promise was there in time. And Derp now, he might find himself in trouble as well. He's going to try and make a run for it, but the Crystal Nova connects, and, well, Husky, slow chase. Evidence there. Give him the dunk. Not even necessary. Husky finds a double kill. And Save, though, will go down, to be fair. He gives a wicked sick streak away to the Brink on Lena, but still, I guess a good couple kills coming up for the side of Team.
Not only that, but they lose at mid tower for that, which is, I'd say, more important than those kills. It's just really unfortunate that, you know, they lose a fight near mid, and that kind of enables team to... Like, what, are they team? Or are they team? Or are they just team? What is this team's name?
It's Team, apparently.
Okay, so but there's another team that's also named Team. So they...
Is that right?
Okay. Yeah, I think IX Mike's team is also named Team. I thought they were like Team or something. Or just Team. I don't know. Too many teams.
Why can't people
Either
just come
way.
up with normal names?
Like Team. I mean, that's just one team is acceptable. I'm just gonna call them. It's gonna be. Okay. They're just gonna be Team. And there's Wheel. Team and Wheel. Meanwhile, Zizzy's dead again on top lane.
Yeah, he goes down. Unfortunately, that blink gonna be delayed even further. He's still sitting around that 1.1k mark, which is really a shame. Derp as well, top lane. Gonna try and come in for the bounty. Gonna be surrounded though. They have the Fortune's End. They have Husky there as well. And Derp, he cops the deafening blast to the face.
Dire's playing very split.
Yeah.
Picked off one by one by like 3 or 4 Dire heroes. Or Radiant heroes.
Axe is extremely farmed too. Axe has his blink if he wants it. It'll be interesting to see if he's gonna go for it though. I mean, he's also in the middle of nowhere bottom though.
Yeah, they get the
Arrow
arrow
down, I think.
Lasso, Moonlight is there though, evident. Can't really do anything. He will buy the blink out though, mind you, so he does get that in time. So not too much gold
If Brink shows on top, he's gonna die too. They have a ward. Oh, they're gonna see him.
Brink, there it is. They know he's there. Sunstrike will actually scout him out. Now the waveform as well. And was he trying to TP there? I'm not 100% sure, but...
He didn't even have a TP, I think, in his inventory.
Tanking as well.
Yeah, Derp. He came in to try and help out again, but it looks like he may end up falling though. Frostbite, it is available. They'll get the Fortune's End anyway, and Derp is gone to the Purifying Flames of Save. Overall though, I mean, Will, you guys pointed it out just earlier. They're playing very, very split up, and I mean, they're going in one by one to try and protect each other. It just doesn't seem to be working out quite well at all.
Yeah, I think both teams were playing a bit split. I'd like to see the Invoker play by himself until he gets his Ags and have the Axe go with the team. I think Axe going bottom there was a pretty big kind of detriment in their game plan, but luckily Wheel also kind of made the same mistake by sending the Lena top, so it all kind of evened out. And I think both teams are playing a bit split right now, and whichever team is able to group up like more effectively at this point in the game is definitely going to have the advantage, which definitely seems to be Team, as they're kind of like 4-man grouped around top with the Invoker playing middle. Really good.
Derp. I mean, on the Sanking, he's having... I realize it's a position 4 Sanking, mind you, so the blink timing isn't going to be so bad, but it does seem like he's going to require that quite soon. Like, they've got the blink now on the Batrider, but the amount of times Derp has tried to come in to save somebody, and he just can't get in range fast enough. Like, is the blink dagger, it feels really important this game for the Sanking.
I think it's not as important because you have the Batrider who also has the blink. I mean, he definitely wants it. He definitely feels bad not having a blink at, 20 minutes. But I'm not sure it's too important to the game plan. I think, in my opinion, the most important thing is that this Mirana is able to do a lot of damage in these fights. The Bat Rider has to hit a lasso, bring someone back, and prevent them from getting Oracle ultied in the process. It's definitely a tough game for Dire to execute because of like the Oracle. They have to catch someone who's away from the Oracle, or maybe the Oracle himself, to really take a fight, which they might be able to do here with
Radiant's
this
very split. Their Morph and Invoker are not close to this.
Oh, they'll get in there. Lasso immediately comes out onto the Oracle and they'll burst him down. Can they find any more though?
Could get Crystal Maiden as well, I think.
Colio, he went for the Glimpse TP away, but it didn't work out for him. He will end up falling as well. The rest will back off to safety. So you got 2 support kills out of that. I guess if you're Will, you're pretty happy.
Gives them control of their jungle again.
Yeah.
Top half of the map was controlled by Team. Gets to ward, get to farm out their own jungle, walking into 5 heroes.
The really nice part about that is they got a really nice ward on the, or Dire got a really nice ward on the Radiant like tri-camp there. That ward is extremely important for their game. It's going to let them be able to maybe get a pick off on the Morphling and Invoker that are farming in that area. So I'm more happy for Dire because they get really good wards out of that. They're still not going to be able to get control of their own jungle because they haven't been able to like de-ward it. Like if you look at Radiant's wards and look at Dire's wards, they're all kind of in the enemy's jungle or in the enemy's area. Meanwhile, Sizzy's dead again.
Yeah, he gets caught out. Husky just continues to find him. It's just the cold snap into the Chaos Meteor and Deafening Blast. Like, it just feels like there's no way the Bat Rider escapes it once it connects. And
I think Bat Rider needs to stop showing in lanes. I've seen him die a couple times in lane. Oh god.
Evident.
Evident okay with his life though.
Yeah, he may. The Yules is there. Nobody there to help out. Evident will end up going down. Boys, we have the chance. Sorry to interrupt. We have the chance to jump into voice chat. Do we want to jump into team right now? They're smoked up.
Yeah, let's go. They're smoked up.
Well, they're on me. They're on me.
Behind Lena. You're fine. He's alone.
I'm arrowed. I'm arrowed. Full.
I'm gonna stun Lena.
Tanking spawn.
I think we're out.
Ron,
No,
you're on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Turn into Moran and leave out.
I don't have it. I think I'm fine.
Alright, they have dust.
No, I'm dead.
Nice. Alright.
DD bot.
Runes. Big mouse. Oh my god.
We need a DD. It's activated though.
He's very dead.
I think so.
Dead is not a word I understand.
I'm shoving lane while you're making space.
Come back
Not a
top
word
or
I understand. Oh, I should have ulted the
I
curve.
know. I was really good.
I didn't see it.
Alright, so we heard it there. Like, they seem pretty darn calm, although they did get wiped in that last engagement. So, I mean, team, they don't seem concerned whatsoever about it, though. They, like, literally looked unconcerned, or sounded unconcerned.
I think they know they have like significantly better late games. So like even if they take a couple bad fights, like they're definitely on pace to be able to win this game. Meanwhile, Oracle's going down. Morphling might go down too. Actually, this Oracle.
Very close.
Very close.
Still gonna go
indeed.
down
Get
though.
him.
They do find him. It was a nice save attempt coming out from save. He did get the Fate's Edict off as the Laguna was coming in, so he blocked it out. Now they actually found the CM as well. Colio gonna get caught out here. The Glimmer Cape will save
They don't
him,
have
and now
dust.
Avident, he does end up getting the double call off with the Sunstrike as well. Brink so close to dying, and they'll get the Deafening Blast, but that CM ultimate being channeled up. KVH finally gets him down, but he's going to give his own life away for it. And that's a godlike streak going to the way of Evident on that axe. That's a lot of gold his way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So Lena and the Sand King both tried to juke out each other, so they didn't get double called. So they both ran right, both ran left, and they both ran right again. Never split up, and they just got double called. Really bad start to the fight.
I just think I mean, I still think Wheel is playing too split. Like, Zizzy's not there for that engagement. Zizzy's kind of just farming bottom. I don't think you want your Bat Rider to really be, like, farming lanes at this point in the game. And now Zizzy gets called up. Sunstrike. Falling Blade, everything used. He's dead too.
It's a very easy combo, it seems. Like, once you get that call off, it's just almost guaranteed death with that Sunstrike. But we'll see what we'll do about it, I guess. I guess it goes back to what you said about the Bat Rider especially. You can't just show up on the map. You probably have to stay hidden and just wait for the engagements. Or just keep farming in the meantime.
I think Wheel really has their work like cut out for them this game. I think that to win fights on Wheel, I mean, I know they just like team wiped them a little while ago, but I think everything has to go like pretty well for them to win a fight. They don't really have a lot of easy ways to kill somebody. I mean, they have to hit the lasso on the Oracle, and then they have to hit an arrow on somebody. Like a lot of stuff has to go right for them to be able to win these engagements. Whereas with team. Like, they can, jump in with Axe, Call, Sunstrike, and Wheel doesn't really have a counterplay to that. It's just a lot easier for Team to be able to initiate and take fights than it is for Wheel. And meanwhile, they're going on derp mid as well.
Yeah, well, he does manage to blink out. The Tornado actually ends up missing. So they may end up finding Frugos. But he does remain in that tree line. And looks like everyone will get away scot-free. The Wheel.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of just playing the mat right now. We'll see what happens first. Radiant obviously has the advantage because they have Roshan control as well. So if Wheel ever kind of slips up, it'll be very easy for them to be able to take Roshan with maybe this Morphling and Alacrity coming out. So Wheel definitely has to be careful with letting Team just play in the top part of their map. But it looks like Team want to maybe pressure their tier 3. I mean, they're sitting behind the Morphling with a smoke right now.
They're hoping the Bat Rider jumps the Morph.
Yeah.
It seems like the Bat Rider quite well aware of what's going on, though. Everyone on the map is just missing right now. And it looks like Wheel, they're just going to start pushing in that bot lane.
I think this next bounty rune is going to be important. I'd expect one team to try to make a play on the other team's bounty rune. So we'll see what happens. I think it is Team. Team are pinging it out. You can see them pinging top bounties, and then... But meanwhile, Wheel draws the line. They're going to start a team fight here.
Yeah, the Moonlight Shadow, and then they find the Oracle save. He gets bursted immediately, though. Call comes in. He finds two again, Evident, and they'll burst down Brink immediately. Frugos, the next target. He's gone as well. They'll go after the Mirana now. The Cold Snap was there with that Battle Hunger. Meanwhile, in the backlines, it looks like Derp loses his own life. Lasso comes out. It is on the Morphling, but nobody's there to follow up, and Zizzy may end up falling by himself now as well. He's just juking up and down that cliff. Scourge Maduck actually stealing the Bat Rider, or morphing into him, and Evident he will end up getting KVH more near, close to that bot lane. So overall, I mean, we will again, they end up losing 4 heroes to the side of Team.
Like I said, it's just really easy for Team to be able to take fights, They hit one good call into a Sunstrike, and all of a sudden, the Lena's dead, plus the support. Whereas everything has to go right, but they kill Zizzy in the top lane.
Yeah. He got the bounty rune, but he gets caught out for it. Not sure how worthwhile that is at this point.
I mean, I think it's worth it. This Bat Rider has almost no net worth, and him dying doesn't really change the map. I think that, they weren't going to make a play anyway, so I don't really mind it.
Team. I mean, with that, like, understanding the Bat Rider's down, they go straight for that Roshan play. I guess there's just going to be no contention whatsoever from Wheel. They're just not going to be here in time. So, again, they find some nice objectives across the map for this Radiant end. And I mean, as they're going right now, like, the net worth lead is only 2k their way, but it certainly does feel like they could start pushing high ground very soon with this.
Yeah, this Aegis is definitely going to be, high ground potential for them. I think they still have potential to lose if maybe the Wheel is able to wrap around on this Oracle and get the jump, but it's going to be very difficult for Wheel to even take a fight in this game. They might have to try to rely on maybe split push with the Sand King Blink, the Bat Rider Blink, and this Mirana.
Morph has his Lincolns ready. He's going for the BKB next. Talked about. I think once he gets his BKB, Dire or Radiant's just gonna walk down the lane. It's almost impossible for Dire to stop them.
Yeah.
They will smoke up. So it looks like Team, they're getting ready for something here. They want to find some kind of pick-off in the top lane. Well, Husky actually ends up finding KVH. It looks like it may have been just a Sunstrike that was thrown out.
KVH got caught by the Axe call. The Sunstrike Axe is able to solo kill him at this point. It's really strong. Meanwhile, though, they're lassoing bottom.
They are
I don't know if
lassoing
they can kill
bottom.
him here. He's really tanky.
Good though.
He is indeed. He's got that pipe up. He goes for the call as well. And with that blade mail now, they will lose Frugos. Oh, Zizzy, he tries for it, but he gets stunked as well. Everton. Now the tornado comes in, and Everton's going to outrun him. Oh my, they're still making the chase, but the Dragon Slave will not connect. And now they may lose Derp as well. Laguna comes out, but it's only onto Colio. Brink is going to lose his own life now to Husky. That's a full team wipe, by the way.
There was just some extreme miscommunication in that fight. Batrider used his flame break and forced the axe away from the Sand King stun, so he never got stunned. Even there, that play is just a little kind of risky to begin with, and that calls, forces a GG out from Team Wheel.
Whew. Man, that is, I mean, look, 28 minutes in, I wouldn't say it was a convincing win unless you guys disagree, but it certainly does feel like Wheel, perhaps a bit of miscommunication. Perhaps they need to get their heads together for game number 2, and I don't know. Like, you just think it was just purely miscommunication here? Like, it wasn't the draft, it wasn't any outplays, anything like that?
It was draft.
You think it's draft?
Well, I don't think it's fully the draft. I think Wheel had a good chance to take this game, but they have to win their lanes really hard. Like, their draft is kind of oriented to win their lanes, and if they don't win the lanes, then they're obviously going to have a really hard time. The game would look pretty different if maybe Wheel was able to snowball some of their lanes and take an early advantage. But obviously they weren't able to do that, and due to the lineup of Team, it's just very difficult to come back in that game once you get past maybe 25-30 minutes.